is right speech, yogic speech, dharmic speech, if it is true and kind and beneficial. And that's not just what I say to others, it's what I say to myself. So, okay, maybe I always fall. But is that kind to myself to tell it? Is it beneficial? Do I need to hear that? Maybe I won't be able to go skiing. Maybe I am right that the doctor's going to put it in a cast. But do I need to know that right now? I'm not even at the doctor's yet. Is it helpful in this moment? Is it kind? Is it giving myself the flow of energy that I need to heal? So ask yourself those two questions. Is it true? And is it beneficial? Is it helpful? Physical pain, what we know is that even though we say it's chemical, it's biological, it's also in the mind. It's the chemistry and the biology of the brain. And so our mind and our thoughts play a huge role in physical pain as well. One of my favorite ways to think about this is, did you know that more than 50% of people who have a limb amputated still have pain in the limb they no longer have? It's called phantom pain. And more than half of people who have amputations have it. Now you think, okay, I had an arm. Now my arm has been completely amputated. It's gone. I have no more arm. But I have pain in the arm. More than 50% of people. How do we explain that? Well, where is that pain? In my mind. And that doesn't mean that I'm crazy. Usually when we say something is in your mind, it means it's fake, you're crazy. No. It means that you have the power with your mind to transform that pain. Because the mind is where it exists. And the phantom limb pain is the best way to understand that, because otherwise you think, no, really, it's my knee that hurt. But if your leg's been amputated, how can your knee really be that which hurts? It's in the mind. My mom, on a personal level, my mom, many of you know, just under 2 years ago, had a severe, devastating cerebral hemorrhage. Her physical body stayed okay. She didn't have any paralysis or anything, but she lost her memory. Who she is, where she is, her whole life story. And it's been so interesting because my mom was someone who had a lot of physical, small, she was very fragile, she was a warrior. I used to say she was like the Energizer bunny. She just kept bouncing back from injuries, from diseases, from so much. But one of the things that she always suffered from was pain in her neck and her back. She had had surgery on her back, surgery on her neck. She had all sorts of actually diagnosable ailments and problems in the bones of her spine. And she was always in a lot of pain. Since she had the stroke, and trust me, you'd know. A lot of us spend a lot of time with my mom. We'd know. Because when she's not happy, you know it. But she's happy almost all the time. And it's so interesting because she spends most of her day sitting. She can walk with help. She can stand with help. But she sits most of the day. She lies some of the day. Certainly things that are not great for neck and back health. Because of the stroke, she's got what they call left side neglect. Leans to the right side most of the time. She kind of forgets her left side is there. So she's always sort of leaning in this direction. Now you think if you've got a spinal issue, I mean, I know if I'm at a function, I have those issues, but if I'm at a function and I'm sitting on a stage where someone is speaking and I've turned my head to look at them, and they speak for more than half an hour or so, I've got, a little thing in my neck for the rest of the day because you've spent half an hour like that. Now she spends all day kind of like this. No pain. No pain. And she's conscious, she's coherent, she's lucid, she doesn't remember who she is, but she has conversations. She tells us, she moans, we know there's a problem. All of the back and neck pain is gone. And it's been amazing to witness because you think, well, God, pain is pain. You don't have to remember that I am someone who has pain. And yet all she lost, and the pain is gone. So when you're working with physical pain, realize the importance of not only working with the physical body, but also working with the mind to let go to the extent possible without having a hemorrhage of the identification as the one who has pain. What would happen if you suddenly forgot that you were someone who had a bad back, that you were someone who had a bad neck? What would happen? So there's a lot of ways to work with that. And emotional pain is obviously in the mind. Again, not that we're crazy, not that we've made things up, not that we haven't suffered. But emotional pain becomes really a choice. Do I want to hold on to this? Do I want to hold on to the anger, the pain? And that's a choice we can all make. And I'm not saying it's easy, but it is simple. It requires, we're here to have courage, an open heart.